Hey everyone, I'm not sure how many people are going to be on. It's kind of a strange time. It's dinner time on Sunday night, but I really felt to do this. I didn't want to wait any longer. So much has been going on over the past few weeks, and so many women have been speaking to me. So let me just introduce myself for those that you don't know me. My name is Delora O'Brien. I have been in and out of ministry since I was very young. My husband and I were associate pastors in a church in New York area for nearly 25 years. We forged marriage ministries. I worked with young women. I worked with young abused women. I worked helping young women in a ministry called Marry Your Destiny that I created. And all of that was wonderful. But what's happening today is very different. I couldn't sit back and wait any longer. I know this, again, maybe Sunday night's not the best time, but this is so heavy on my heart that I can't wait any longer. I keep waiting for the perfect time. My husband and I do Facebook Lives on Monday night from this page, Before You Say I Don't, which is about relationships and marriage and how to have a good marriage, how to make a good marriage better, how to save your marriage. Together we've counseled and saved literally hundreds of marriages. A lot of women I've counseled. I was head of the women's ministry, and I dealt a lot with a lot of situations like abuse. A very close friend of mine is a counselor and a clinical psychologist, so to speak, and I speak to her a lot about this. I'm hoping maybe she can come on at some point and we'll ask some questions. But until then, I just wanted to do this. Why? Why am I doing this now? My kids, my older kids are married. I have one left at home. She's not married. She's had her fair share of what I'm going to go into. And I'm not going to reveal anything. That's her business. But, every young woman I know has dealt with this in some regard. Over the past year, I think I've spoken to more young women that have been emotionally and or physically abused than 30 years combined before it. I don't know what's going on. It is a sign of culture. It's a sign of the time the sign of the times we live in. Whether you're Christian, whether you are, and I can give biblical basis for everything I'm going to be saying over the next few weeks, or you're an atheist and you just want to know how these things are affecting you. How is it affecting you? What's affecting you? Identifying if you are in an abusive relationship, identifying friends or family that are in abusive relationships, and you'd like to help them. It's not easy. It's not easy. My friend said it's like heroin when you're in an abusive relationship. So I'm doing this because I can't be quiet any longer. There's too much that's got to be said. There's too much that is not being done. I'm not blaming anyone, but it is a silent epidemic, and a lot of people don't realize the women that are going through this and how they're trying to cope through it and taking the blame for it themselves for relationships that aren't working or whatever. So it's an interesting thing. The thing that did it for me this week, I think, is I spoke to a young woman who had just come out off of a very emotionally abusive relationship. Her self-esteem was very low. She felt that it was her fault, which many times these type of men will make you feel that. And you lose all sense of who you are. You lose sense of yourself. But you feel like you can't go on without them. I'll go into that in a minute. I'm going to give you signs and warning signs, and that's all we'll do for tonight. I just want to establish that I'm going to be doing this every Sunday night. But what happened was this very wonderful young woman went out on a date, and it was just First date really wasn't anything. They went out to dinner, nothing much. And when the dinner was over and they got in the car, this young man grabbed her head and forced himself on her. Now, that in itself could infuriate anyone, and probably something should have been done. Maybe, I don't know. I know that's not illegal. He didn't rape her. She got out of the car and that was it. But he physically held her down, this big guy, and forced himself on her. Now, when she said to him, "Don't you ever think you can do that to me again?" Do you know what his response was? Sometimes women need this, so they understand that who I am as a man, that even though they don't think they need it, women at times really do need even to be physically abused. Now, he's one of those guys that in our generation, not in my generation, but in the younger generation, millennials, especially in New York, LA, Chicago, these girls call these guys F-boys. Four-letter word F. F-boys. And these F-boys, that's all they want. And they'll tell you they're F-boys. They'll explain to you that they're F-boys, and they're happy about it. There's no blocking anymore. There's no holding back. They are who they are. They don't care who they are. They know they're going to abuse. They're happy with being the abuser. And young women are not smart enough. Most of them, and I mean the vast majority, do not realize that they're getting entangled in a situation that it's going to be like pulling, having an intervention to pull them away, even though they are emotionally and physically being abused because of what happened. So I'm not going to go make this long. I'm just going to literally going to read you some of the red flags, the warning signals. If you know of anyone that is, you're saying, I don't feel good about this relationship my friend is in, my family, my sister, or, women abuse too. Or my brother. If they're in a situation where you are concerned, or maybe if you see some of these things I'm saying in a relationship you're in, you can write to me, you can inbox me, and Before You Say I Don't, you can write at beforeyousayidon't.com. I help a lot of girls through this in a lot of different areas, even people that, when I was in the church in New York, I still hear from some of those people, and because they still have issues dealing with this. I'm going to go into, down the road, we're going to go into STDs and sex and why having sex before marriage. Even if you've already had sex with 10 men, why you should stop right now. Why it's killing you, really. It's killing your psyche. It's killing your heart. It's killing your emotions. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you some of the warning signs of men that are abusers. You're seeing people and you're looking at a friend and you're saying, she's changed. Something is different with her. A man in your life and I'm going to do these real quick, and then I'll go into them in depth in the next coming weeks. He's pushing for quick involvement. I know a young woman that this man said, "You're my dream girl. You're my princess. I've been waiting my whole life for you. I've never had a woman in my life that is so incredible." And he bought her things, and everything was wonderful until that day he turned on her. Once he got her, he turned on her. So they push for quick involvement. Excessively possessive. Controlling behavior. You're not around. They're interrogating. It's an interesting thing. you can always tell a girl that's in an abusive relationship when she's not with her other half. Her cell phone is like she's clutching it. Like, God forbid, he checks where she is and she doesn't answer. Or if you have a friend and you try to get them, and when they're with this man, they don't go near their cell phone because he doesn't like it and it's taking time from him, even if it's important that you're trying to get to him. They have unrealistic expectations. They expect you to be the perfect mate to meet his needs. I've heard this many times. I, as a man, saying this to a woman, I expect you to march to my drum, not your own drum. So we need to fix this. And being the good woman, you expect to do that. Okay, what would you like me to do? And so this cycle begins. Eventually, they like to isolate you. They play, they love family, they want to be around your friends, and they do it at the beginning, and it's all a game. And then they isolate you. And then you don't have your support system anymore. He blames you for his issues and his mistakes. He makes you feel responsible for him not feeling good or having issues in the relationship, even if he's the one that began it. Many times he'll put you on a roller coaster. 1 minute he's sweet, the next minute he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Then he turns sweet. Then he says, I'm so sorry that we're doing this. This is not good. We need to move past this and let's get help. What he's really saying is you get help. You need to get help because what you're doing is causing problems in the relationship and it messes with the girl's brain. It messes with her brain because she is really thinking. He says she's crazy. You're crazy. The things you're doing are crazy. This is, if you know anyone, please put this on your page. Send this to them. Tag them downstairs in the comments below. He's hypersensitive. Mood swings. Like I said, sweet 1 minute. The next minute, he's different. All of a sudden, your friend is less confident. She dresses differently. She acts differently. She's a little disconnected. Even her eyes are not really connected. All I can tell you, and I'm really going to close, I wanted to make this really quick. Every Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. Monday night, my husband and I do this together, Before You Say I Don't. We talk about relationships, dating, which I will cover a lot here. Marriage, before you say I don't in your marriage. Before you say I don't want him anymore. Before you say I don't want her anymore. Before you say I'm done with it all. I don't want to communicate. I don't want to learn. That's tomorrow night, every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Same, 5 p.m. Pacific, same time. But Sundays, every Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern, I'm going to cover. Next week, I'm going to cover sex before marriage. What it does to you. What it does to you emotionally. What it does to your mind. What it does to you physically. I'm going to cover that. And then I'm going to bring people on. There's people that I'm going to do a split screen with. They could be in another end of the country. And they're professionals or they're ministers or they're involved in some way or another with helping women or helping relationships, helping young men even. But really the silent epidemic is with mostly with young women. There is a book that if anyone here feels they need it, and feels that maybe this is you know you're in a relationship that you're dealing with this. You know someone that's in a relationship that's dealing with this. The book is called Why Does He Do That? And it's by Lundy Bancroft. I haven't read the whole thing. I did leaf through it. What you're going to do is you're going to open the book and you go, oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. And once the light goes on, once you can see it, These men like to be in the dark. They like to be in the dark. You have to shine the light on them. When that light goes on, they're like silverfish. They're going to scatter. But it's going to be still going to be hard to pull you away, which is why I'm going to bring professionals into this on Sunday night. We're going to have questions and answers. I will ask a lot of the questions. This is going to grow. I'm hoping it turns into a movement. I am so fired up about this, I can't tell you. So please tell everyone next Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, share this. Give it to someone. Bring them on next week. Remind them. And tomorrow night, my husband and I will be back here, same time, before you say I don't, 8 p.m. God bless you guys. Love you. Again, if you want to speak to me about anything, I answer right away. My husband answers right away. Young men for my husband. Just write to us here at before you say I don't or beforeyousayidon't.com. And we will respond. If we can't help you, I will find someone who can. We don't have all the answers. We've got a lot of them. Been married a long time, been in a lot of situations, counseled a lot of women, a lot of marriages. So please, next week, we'll see you. God bless you guys. You know what? We all have to be part of the solution. Amen. God bless.